Hey guys, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by a limited time offer from photography.com.
Yeah, Carlin turns on the TV, Christian flips off the screen, cause there's no good children's shows that he's seen. We've got dogs with blogs, superheroes in the ER. All dads are dumb and kids have better PR. Carlin just smile, Christian sits with the scowl. He complains to his son, all the kids show suck now. They sit and discuss the show's plus and minuses while you listen or watch on YouTube to the arguments. Who is right? Is it the son or the dad? Either way you get to laugh knowing Christian is mad. So pull up a chair, get the corner poppin'. Here's a new episode of What Are We Watching?
Now, photography.com is the place to take your photographs and transform them into works of art. They can print your photos on canvas, framed canvas, metal, acrylic. They have photo clocks, they have photo chalkboards. They have more options available. And right now, I have a limited time offer for you. If you go to photography.com/PlaidDad15, you can buy one and get 3 free. That is a crazy offer, and with the season coming up, this is perfect for Christmas gifts. Buy one, get 3 free. Oh, and guess what? They're gonna throw in free shipping as well. This is a deal you can only get through our podcast. So go to photography.com/PlaidDad15. Hey, send us a pic of the photograph you choose, and maybe send us a pic of the canvas or acrylic or metal or clock or chalkboard that you get your photo printed on. We would love to see it. This is a great deal. We are so happy to offer this to our listeners and our website users. Photography.com/PlaidDad15. Buy one, get 3 free plus free shipping. You will not get a better deal this Christmas season. Again, photography.com/PlaidDad15. Check them out. I know you'll be excited. Now let's get on to the episode. Hey guys, Christian here for the mini episode of the What Are We Watching podcast. I'm so glad you joined us. Now, our mini episode is where we recap our last full episode. Sometimes Carlin joins me, and sometimes I just record this while he's at school because I like to get a little piece of quiet of my own. But this time, it is just me on this mini episode. Now, last episode, we watched Game Shakers. Game Shakers is the new Nickelodeon show starring Kel from Kenan and Kel, for all of those people my age that remember Kenan and Kel, and anybody who's discovered Kenan and Kel online. Oh man, it was a bad show. Not only was the show itself just written poorly and just caricatures of people, but man, it's just a disappointment to see a kid that was great in a sketch comedy at his age, which Kel was, and then go to a show like this. It's just another one of those cookie cutter shows that we always talk about on this podcast, where the kids kind of run the world. There's no adults around, and any adult that is around is either a moron or a jerk. And well, Kel plays that adult times 2. He's a moron and a jerk, and he is super at it. So it's just disappointing to see like one of the guys you grew up with doing that kind of stuff. I get it. He needs a check too, and Kenan's been getting his SNL check for the past few years. So I get it. I understand the premise of the show. I understand why kids, namely my son Carlin, thought it was funny. I get it. I understand. A lot of people are like, man, you're talking about these shows expecting like Breaking Bad or expecting Mad Men. It's just a kid's show. No, I get it. I've rewatched a lot of the shows that I grew up on, and they are horrible. Look, I loved watching Dukes of Hazzard as a kid. It was one of my number one main shows. But I could tell you the plot of every episode of every season, even when they brought in the cousins, otherwise known as the Dead Season. So yeah, I get it. They weren't all winners, but they had better acting, or they had a better overall premise, or there was some attention to detail by the producer and the writers, and this one just doesn't have it. I mean, heck, they name the restaurant that they frequent Fooders. If you can't come up with a more original name than Fooders, or something that sounds like Hooters, then you've got a problem on your show. Maybe it's time to retool. But we always talk about, well, when we talk about these shows on the mini episode, I always ask the question, would it have been better animated? Because a lot of cartoons can pull off ridiculous, crazy premises if it's animated, because you can do more things. We talked about Kicking It, how that would definitely be a better animated. Mighty Med, that would have been a better show if it was animated, because they could have put more flying, more fighting, more special effects into it. So would this show be better animated? Well, I don't know if there is a point in animating this show. It was that bad, but I'm going to say yes, it would be better animated, because they run a video game company. So on an animated show, they could either start out as real life characters and then go animated each time they enter a video game. That would be cool. That would be game shakers. That would be really neat, how you could go from reality into animation. I think that would be a great kind of thing. Or it could be totally Wreck-It Ralph style, where they're in an animated world. Each world they go to is a different animated game, or they're still game creators, but they're creating the other characters they're surrounded by. There's so many more options that they could have if they were doing this as an animated show. So yes, I would say definitely Game Shakers would be, well, it could only be better, people. If it was animated, it could only be better, because at least then visually it would be, more enticing and more exciting to watch. So whenever we have a mini episode, we like to mention a person that watched the episode and talked to us. And this week, my favorite comment was actually by an anonymous person. That's right, it was anonymous. And I'm sorry, I don't have your name. If you leave your name and your comment on whatarewewatching.com or Plaid Dad blog, where we also post it, or our YouTube channel, or Libsyn, or any of the number of places you can find our podcast, even Facebook. Well, you can't be anonymous on Facebook. If you leave us a comment after you've watched the episode, we can send you a free gift from one of our awesome sponsors. That means you could get a Mighty Mug, which is my favorite mug. You could get a Stanley Thermos, the best thermos in history. You could get an iTunes gift card or an Amazon gift card. I could send you something awesome. Trust me, people win from us all the time. I even post pictures on our Facebook feed of people that have won prizes from us. But I'm sorry, Anonymous. I'm going to mention you, and I'm going to mention your comment, but you're not getting a prize. So next time, leave your name and then shoot me your info, or I will contact you for your info. But the reason I like your comment the best is just because you said, wow, Carlin is getting better every episode. Now, I say this almost every mini episode, but it's nice to see somebody else say it too. And you said that his arguments were awesome and sound, even though I battered him. And I got the feeling maybe you didn't want me to batter him, but I'm not really battering him. It's just the concept of these shows. And I do challenge him on saying, why is this funny to you? Do you get this joke? And when he goes, no, I don't get the joke, but everybody's laughing, so I laughed. I'm like, then why are you laughing, man? Let's dig into it. That's what this podcast is all about. Like expecting better stuff for our kids and making our kids go, you know what? I get that I'm not watching an adult show, but this could be better. Let's do some things. Let's tweak some things and make this a good show. So that's what the What Are We Watching podcast is all about. Now, each mini episode, I tell you what we will be watching next time. Next week, we're going to be watching The Thundermans. It's also a Nickelodeon show. Now, I get that the Nickelodeon player on their website is kind of iffy. We had some issues with watching it on Google Chrome, and I usually try to link to a version of the episode either on YouTube or Vimeo, wherever I can find it, but a lot of times those get taken down, and Nickelodeon player is free. So we're going to be watching The Thundermans. And I think that we're going to be watching season 1, episode 20, which is called Breaking Dad, because I thought that was great for our podcast. Season 1, episode 20, Breaking Dad of The Thundermans. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to that episode so you can watch. Now, What you do is you watch the episode, then you listen to our podcast next week, our full episode, and listen or watch on YouTube, and then you leave us a comment after you've watched the Thundermans and listened to our episode. Tell us what you thought. Tell us what we missed, what we got right, what Carlin got right or wrong, what I got right or wrong. I don't get anything wrong. These shows are bad, right? And leave us a comment and your name or your screen name, whatever. I call out Twitter IDs, and then we will send you an awesome prize from our sponsor. So thank you for listening to this mini episode. Watch the Thundermans. I will link to it below. If we change the episode we're watching, that will change in the information below this audio or video link. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next week with our full episode.
What are we watching?
This production is brought to you by the Plaid Dad Blog Podcast Network. For more information, visit plaiddadblog.com.